Tonight on KGW News, a local business chain calling for change after criminals are caught on camera stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of their inventory.
You know, there's only so much that we can foot the bill on when it comes to these things.
Plus, how crews in northern Washington are working to reopen a critical road used by skiers and snowboarders.
Optimistic we can get something rolling and get people up the hill.
And the latest developments in the detainment of a Beaverton man after federal officers arrested the wrong person. And later, one survivor's push to change Washington's rules over drunk driving.
This is also a part of community.
Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Our top story, a Christmas Eve smash and grab at a Portland smoke shop. Surveillance video showing a car being used as a battering ram to get to the House of Pipes on Southeast 41st in Hawthorne. Jake Holter joins us live from the newsroom with that story. Jake?
Yeah, John, when we spoke with the shop, they said this is the 14th time a House of Pipe store has been robbed this year alone.
They rammed the storefront 3 times to get through our security gate.
4 robbers caught on camera looting a Southeast Portland smoke shop Christmas Eve. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of product being piled into trash bins.
You know, it's very disheartening, and especially on Christmas Eve, you know, waking up, getting that call at 5:30 in the morning and having to rush to go figure out what's going on. It's tough, it hurts, and you know, there doesn't seem to be an end.
Brock Berg is the COO of House of Pipes, which operates 25 locations around the Portland metro. He says this is the 14th time this year one of their stores has been hit. This
type of thing has only been happening in the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, we never had anything like this, you know, maybe I think 3 years ago was the first one. That was over in Gresham. 21 Plus Tobacco and Vapor Retail Association of Oregon Executive Director Richard Burke says the city's response to this uptick has been lackluster and hurting the business community.
The city's weak response to these kind of crimes are basically a red sign telling businesses to go away, and they are going away.
Berg says they'll be out over $200,000 when it's all said and done.
Insurance companies, they're only going to allow us to make so many claims and such high claims, you know. We can't for the most part, otherwise we're going to get kicked out or our rates are going to rise through the roof. So the majority of this is all getting eaten.
There are members that we have who have multiple stores who have reduced the number of stores they have just because they have high exposure. And I've seen other stores that have just decided to close up shop or set up shop somewhere else, you know, like.
House of Pipes says they will not be bullied out of Portland, but they hope something changes. Meanwhile, no arrests have been made. John?
All right, Jake, thanks so much for that reporting. In local weather news, Clark County's Council for the Homeless is issuing a severe weather alert due to cold overnight temperatures. That means tonight through the 30th, the county is opening its overnight warming shelter. It's located at Living Hope Church on Northeast Andreessen Road in Vancouver. During this time, C-Tran will not turn away anyone who is riding to a warming center. Well, taking a live look out over Portland, where we've seen some drizzle and some light rain today, but our last weekend of 2025 is looking dry. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino is here with a first look at your weather forecast. Matt.
Hey, John, you know, we definitely seen a shift towards cooler temperatures after a very, very warm month of December so far, but things are looking a lot more like winter up in the mountain for sure. In fact, you can just barely make out the edge of Timberline Lodge there because we got snow and ice on the lens down to 20 degrees, winds at 26, gusting to 41 miles an hour. There is a winter weather advisory in effect for the Cascades. Now, tomorrow may be the first day of ski season for a lot of folks out there. New skis for the holiday, all of that. Season's been a slow start, but things are open right now. But check out some of the weather we've had on Mount Hood tonight. 4 inches new at Timberline and at Meadows. That's the good news, but the winds, man, the top of the Magic Mile, a gust of 90 miles an hour this evening. The Blue Tear over at Meadows, a gust of 70. Ski Bowl, lower winds, and they are getting snow at Ski Bowl too, so hopefully they'll be able to get their skiing going there. They've got tubing going already. Cascade snow overnight tonight, several more inches on the way. I'll show you how much a little bit later on. But the valleys will be clearing out. So we get some good weather this weekend. In fact, we'll begin a long stretch of dry weather Saturday night. That, of course, means the morning temperatures, though. The morning temperatures will be cold, the coldest of the season so far. We'll show you how low in a bit. John, back to you.
All right, Matt, we'll see you soon. Thank you. New tonight, Mount Bachelor says it is significantly expanding opening terrain tomorrow after getting nearly a foot of snow. Conditions permitting, they plan to open Cloud Chaser, Rainbow, Early Riser, and Sunrise lifts. Forecasts call for snow to continue until just after opening tomorrow for a possible 3 to 5 inches. And up at Timberline, ski conditions are slowly improving. Tomorrow, the Poochie and Bruno's lifts will be open. And if it keeps snowing, they may open Molly's lift. They remind people that early season conditions will be in place up there, including some areas of low snow zones. In northern Washington, after 2 weeks cut off by storms, Highway 2 is finally showing signs of life. WashDOT crews are preparing for a limited reopening, restoring some access to Stevens Pass. This map shows the stretch of the highway that will reopen Monday in yellow. The red shows the sections that will remain closed as repairs continue. Bridget Chavez reports on how this plan will work and what drivers should expect.
This coming Monday at 6 a.m., we will begin a limited reopening of a section of State Route 2 from the east.
Those words from Governor Bob Ferguson are the news skiers and snowboarders have been waiting weeks to hear.
Hopefully we can get more road open, but yeah, the resort opening is definitely good.
A nearly 50-mile stretch of Highway 2 has been shut down for more than 2 weeks after severe storms and flooding destroyed roads and bridges. Stevens Pass officially opens for the season on Monday, but getting there won't be easy. Drivers must go through Leavenworth, then take Chumstick Highway to reach the partially reopened section of US 2. From there, a pilot car will escort traffic through a single-lane work zone for about 7 to 8 miles. The reopening covers 20 miles between Coles Corner and Stevens Pass and will only run from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day.
US 2 will remain an active construction zone.
For skiers and snowboarders in King and Snohomish counties, that means a 4 to 5 hour drive just to reach Stevens Pass, not including any wait time for the pilot car.
The hardcores might be doing more of that, but yeah, kind of your everyday family folks, I think would just go to Snoqualmie or Baker or something like that.
For the owner of a ski shop in Monroe, the closure has meant empty service benches.
These things are usually pretty full of stuff that we have to do.
And fewer rentals during what's normally a busy time of the year.
It's definitely been a little bit of a hit. Like I said, just rentals have been down. Ski service is a little down.
After weeks of closures, all that uncertainty is hard.
You know, they're working really hard to get these roads open, and what else can you do? I mean, good to go.
But Spradlin's not ready to write off the season just yet.
Just need a mountain. Optimistic we can get something rolling and get people up the hill.
Governor Ferguson says we will get an update Tuesday on when drivers can reach Stevens Pass from the west side. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, a memorial service will be held tomorrow for the fallen Washington State Patrol trooper Tara Gooding. She was hit and killed while investigating an unrelated crash last Friday in Tacoma. Investigators say Gooding was hit twice by 2 separate drivers. The first driver involved in the crash stopped and has been cooperating with authorities. Investigators are still looking for the second driver that hit her. State and local police helped bring an armed suspect into custody on Christmas Day. Officers were called to a weapons complaint on southbound I-5 near Woodland. The driver, Miguel Nino Jr., stopped at Ilani Casino in Ridgefield, where he was arrested on charges including assault and reckless driving. Officers found a loaded handgun in the car. We've asked for more details on that weapons complaint. And in Washington County, deputies criminally cited a driver for hit and run after she crashed into a power pole and fled the scene. It happened on Northwest 174th Avenue near Meadowgrass Drive. More than 200 buildings lost power because of the crash, but it has now been restored. In local immigration news, a federal judge in Oregon this month ordered a Beaverton man free from ICE detention after Customs and Border Protection officers arrested a man they weren't targeting. As first reported by the Oregonian, the judge said this was a violation of the man's Fifth Amendment due process rights. Alma McCarty has more.
December 3rd, early in the morning. Federal court documents detail how CBP's Alpha Team 1 showed up here looking for a target, a man with a conviction for unlawful possession of meth. They had a photo of said man from 2006 and an address in Beaverton. But according to a federal judge's opinion and order, the man they were seeking no longer lived there. He hadn't for more than a decade. Judge Michael McShane wrote to say that the information relied upon by CBP in the target package was stale would be a remarkable understatement. However, when a different man stepped out of the apartment around 7:45 that morning, officers took him into custody anyway, finding he didn't have lawful status in the U.S. and was a citizen of Mexico. At Portland's ICE facility, court documents detail how officers wrote a warrant for the man's arrest after the fact. He'd been arrested without one. The judge went on to write that this court is becoming all too familiar with the self-apparent tactic of federal officers to arrest first, ask questions later. The crux of the violation of the Beaverton man's due process rights. He was immediately released on December 15th after nearly 2 weeks in ICE custody. His attorney told KGW that this was a very dramatic moment to see him unshackled in the courtroom after the judge had left the bench. Alma McCarty, KGW News.